committed right under my nose. I think I know what I have coming, but morning's here and I'm succumbing. It's captured me and it won't let me go. It's taking over my house, taking over my stuff. It's been through my patience, cause it's never enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids have taken over my heart. It's a constant game of cops and robbers. They steal your kisses, spend your dollars. You give, they take. Your heart they break with a smile. I love to know how others manage. My jeans are now my disadvantage. Surrendering is my only way out. They're taking over my house, taking over my stuff. They've been through my patience, cause it's never enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids are part of my songs, they're the joy in my tunes. They own all my mornings, evenings and afternoons. My hopes, my dreams, my life from end to start. My kids have taken over my heart. They've taken over my house, taking over my stuff. They've been through my patience, cause it's never enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids are part of my songs, they're the joy in my tunes. They own all my mornings, evenings and afternoons. My hopes, my dreams, my life from end to start. They've taken over my house, taken over my stuff. They've been through my patience till I can't get enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids are part of my song, they're the joy in my tunes. They own all my mornings, evenings and afternoons. My hopes, my dreams, my life from end to start. My kids have taken over my heart.
This show is broadcasted for women and girls only. Для женщин и девочек только. Isha, the Isha.
Positive Life TV. С позитивом по жизни.
Welcome back, and we are proceeding with the topic on how to raise emotionally healthy and happy children in 2020. Ay, Baruch Hashem, with Mrs. Goodstein. Mrs. Goodstein, dear, please tell us, how do you balance being your child's parent, but still being your child's friend that he feels he can talk to?
Right. So that really it's an excellent question, Tzivia. And I think that it's a very, very hard balance, because parents want to provide discipline and structure and high standards for their children, and they want to raise their children in a way that kids are showing respect. But at the same time, they want their kids to talk to them and consider them somebody that they can open up to and sort of kind of be their friend. And it's very, very hard to do that, because sometimes when we're too much of our children's friends, they don't show us the respect. But when we're too strict, or maybe, act in ways that maybe parents did back in the former Soviet Union or in different generations, our kids feel like we don't understand them. So how do you have that perfect balance? So psychological research actually shows that there is something known as the authoritative parent. And that is a parent who is very, very warm very, very understanding, very, very involved. They know what's going on with their children, and they give their children a lot of love. They are not afraid to say the words, I love you. They are parents who are just really involved. They give a lot of hugs. They're very, very warm. That's the word. They're very warm. And they praise their children a lot. However, they balance that out with boundaries and respect. They give their kids standards. They say to their children, I want you to do well in school. You have to study. You have to go to bed at a certain time. You can only be friends with, let's say, this person or that person or that person. So what they are is they're very, very warm. There's parents that are very, very warm, and they praise their kids. Anything that their child does right, the parent notices and they praise their child. They say, I'm proud of you. They spend time with them. They tuck them into bed at night. They go to their children's school events. The children know and feel loved. They know their parents are proud of them, but they also know that their parent is boss. They know that their parents have standards. They know you will not call me by my first name. You will not sit in my chair. You will not talk to me with disrespect. You will not roll your eyes at me. You will listen. There's an authority there. And research shows that children who grow up in a home that is very, very warm, and they get a lot of praise and a lot of hugs and a lot of kisses, but they are not the boss. The parent is the boss. And the parent sets rules. And there are consequences if the child doesn't listen. Those children grow up to be the healthiest and the happiest. And they have the most boundaries. They tend to be less aggressive. And when they grow up, they will continue this positive pattern. They will be warm to their children. They will be involved with their children. They will praise their children. But they are also going to set standards. And as a principal, I see this a lot. I've met so many parents who want their kids to do well. They make sure their kids do their homework. They make sure their kids go to bed on time. They do not let their kids disrespect their teachers, but they are at every PTA. They are very proud of their children. They hug their children. They're very involved. Tzivia, this is a very, very hard balance. It is, but it definitely is possible. You don't want to be the type of parent who is because I said so, or you're not good enough. Why didn't you bring home better marks? Why is this house not clean enough? A lot of criticism, a lot of punishment, a lot of yelling. Kids do not do well with yelling. Children tend to feel when they have parents who are not warm, they tend to feel like, why should I try? I'm not going to make my father happy anyway. Or or just even things like, why should I respect you? You guys are so mean to me, which is not fair. Kids have to respect their parents. Yes?
I am so sorry. I'm going to cut you off for just a second.
Yeah.
It looks like we don't have connection for some reason. Can everybody hear us? Can I get a message? Because we're saying there is no connection as of now. Let me see. Somebody live ended. 1 second, please. Let's, Lenny, let's do another musical break and see what's happened with the connection. People are saying that we have lost connection. Let's have another musical break and get back on track.
Hashem bless us all. Dear Father, bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. Hashem bless us all. Dear God bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. I'm sipping my coffee, it's 7 a.m. It's Friday morning, thank you Hashem. The kids are still sleeping, and there's no school. Midwinter vacation, and the men are at shul. Hashem bless us all. Dear Father bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. Hashem bless us all. Dear God bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. Shabbos is coming at 4 p.m. TGIF, I'm not a man. There's lots of work around the house. Hashem give me strength before I'm knocked out. Hashem bless us all. Dear Father bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. Hashem bless us all. Dear God bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. I'm sipping my coffee, it's 7 a.m. Don't know where to start, but I'm thankful I am. I hear the clock ticking, it's calling my name. But I turn to you and continue to pray. Hashem bless us all. Dear Father bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. Hashem bless us all. Dear God bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. Hashem bless us all. Dear Father bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls. Hashem bless us all. Dear God bless the world. So we should find our home, bless our souls.
Positive Life TV. С позитивом по жизни.
This show is broadcasted for women and girls only. Для женщин и девочек только. Isha в Isha.
Hello, beautiful ladies, and we're finally back here on Tzivia show. Miracles go on. We apologize for getting cut off there, but Mrs. Goodstein, are you with us?
Yes, I am with you. Yes.
Thank God. Okay, let's proceed.
Yes. So
We're talking about the 3 types of parenting.
Yes. So basically, what I was saying before, we got cut off is that parents should try, and it's not easy, but they should try to have that balance of trying to find the good in their children, verbalizing, use your words and tell the kids, I'm proud of the fact that you studied hard today. I'm proud of the way that you're showing respect to me, even though you want to do what you want to do. You decided to listen to your mom, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the way you were sharing with your brothers and sisters. Catch your children doing something good and tell them. Parents who spend a lot of time with their children and they talk to them, we need to take the cell phones and kind of put it down and make eye contact with our kids and talk to them and listen to them and hear what they have to say. ask them questions about school. But at the same time, there are very strong boundaries. Kids have to know that the parents are boss. Kids have to know that there are consequences if they're disrespectful or they are not responsible. And it's not easy. It really, really isn't. But research shows that when a parent is too critical, there's a different type of parent, our second type of parent, who is very, very cold. They don't show a lot of love. They don't talk a lot. There's not a lot of hugs and kisses, and they're not very involved. And, their standards are too high. 90 is not enough. The kids have to get hundreds, or the room isn't clean enough. And then our kids feel like they can't talk to us. Maybe you're going to get a lot of respect from your child because they might be afraid, but kids do not do well with coldness. So you're going to miss out on the chance to have your children talk to you, be your friend, and have a warm relationship. And children who grow up in very cold and critical homes where there's a lot of yelling and screaming, they tend to grow up and do the exact same thing to their husbands and wives. And that's how they act to their children, because that's all they ever know. So maybe in the previous generation, when parents said, because I said so, or maybe there was more yelling, maybe that was fine back then, but certainly there's a new type of parenting nowadays. And we want to be a lot warmer to our kids. The third type of parent, which is also, is not going to raise the best children, is what we call the permissive parent. The permissive parent is one that has way too much mercy and kind of says, I don't want to hurt my child's self-esteem, or I don't want to ask too much of my children, or I want my kid to be my friend, so they don't make standards. You can go to sleep when you want, you can do your homework or not do your homework, you can, talk to me the way you want. I just want you to be my friend. And that's also not good, because these children grow up, they're very disrespectful. They could be disrespectful to their teachers because, hey, my own mom can't tell me what to do, so why should my teacher tell me what to do? And these kids grow up, really without high standards. And when they're older, they wish they had more discipline. So, yeah, I know what I'm saying is really not easy, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. But if we can try to find the right balance where our children know we love them, they know we're there for them, we're very, very warm, we use our words a lot, there's a lot of show. There's a lot of show of warmth, but at the same time, we don't let our kids get away with things, and we make it clear, you will respect me. There are standards. You will do those standards. And if they don't, we don't have to yell, we don't have to scream, but there should be consequences. Like, for example, if a child goes ahead and eats, they should clean up after themselves. If a child is disrespectful to you, they should come over and apologize. I also find, Tzivia, that the more we talk to our kids, I know that a lot of us feel like they're just not listening. But I know certainly when I was growing up, my parents would sit me down and tell me what the right thing is. And they would talk to me and talk to me and talk to me. And sometimes it looked like I wasn't listening. Teenagers don't like to show they're listening. Teenagers like to show control, but they are. They are listening, and they are taking in your lessons. And you may not see it now, but if you speak to a lot of adults who are very successful, they will tell you that their parents taught them a lot of lessons. And maybe as kids, they weren't listening, but as adults, they did. It all came out. And we certainly do want our kids to be, successful adults. So don't give up. Keep talking to the children.
Wow, that is amazing, Mrs. Goodstein. Ladies, Well, we're back live, and we're picking up the views again, Baruch Hashem. If you do have any questions, please call us directly. You can find our phone number on the screen, or send us the text message again, 347-489-7042. Please call us live or send us text messages, and Mrs. Goodstein will gladly answer questions. Mrs. Goodstein, how do we help develop our children's self-esteem? Meanwhile,
that's an excellent question, and self-esteem is so important. And I find that as a principal, that the children who feel good about themselves and have respect for themselves, they tend to respect other people. And they're confident, and they do very well. And teenagers in particular have a hard time with their self-esteem. They're worried about the way they look, and they're worried about what kids think about them. And it's hard. It's really hard. But I think that the key is to try to find the good in our children and to praise them, to be their cheerleaders. And again, like I said before, to verbally tell them, I'm proud of you. You are such a good child. I saw the way you helped your younger brother. You are such a good person. Or for example, if I see that my child is learning Torah, I will say to him, it makes me so proud to see you learn Torah. I'm so proud that you are my son. Or I saw that you were studying math. You put so much effort into that. You're intelligent, and I appreciate how hard you work. You are so good. So I think we need to catch our kids doing good things. We need to tell them that and let them know that they're good. It also helps children, aside from us being positive with them, it's important that their teachers be positive with them. I always tell my staff, my teachers who work for me, that if you need to tell a child that they're doing something wrong, it should be in a positive, nice way. Teachers should also help kids feel that they are good. And also, if there's any way that we can help them find something that they're good at, whether it's gymnastics or sports or writing, help them to develop their talents and then praise them for that. And the children see that they're capable, that definitely helps. That definitely helps a lot. But I know growing up, my parents were my biggest cheerleaders. They always made me feel like I can do anything. And maybe I didn't feel it at the time. Maybe I didn't feel like I could do anything at the time, but they were always like kind of making me feel like you're good and you can accomplish. And I really do feel that a lot of the things that I've accomplished in my life is because of my parents just being there and being positive with me and letting me feel like you're good and you can do it. You can do it. Just, we need to be our kids' cheerleaders and help them feel like they can do it.
that is great. Thank you for explaining that. That is really awesome. We need to, of course, support them and make them feel worthy. Of course, you're awesome. But how do we stay positive during these challenging times, during these COVID times, with everything that's happening in the world today? Plus, we have these gadgets. The technology world doesn't really help so much. And when you say just take the phone nicely away and look them in the eye, what if they don't want to look you in the eye at that moment? We have a tantrum.
I'm just so impressed with these questions because they're so real. So I think that moms have to be gentle with themselves. COVID-19 and having our kids home is a very overwhelming time. And there's times where we really just feel like crying because we want to make sure our kids are getting a good education and the kids are home and they're not always listening to us. So it's okay for things not to be okay. You know, just be gentle on yourself. Everybody is going through a hard time right now. But we also have to understand that if we can somehow be positive, we're being role models to our children. And if they see that mom chooses to be happy and mom chooses to stay calm, we're teaching our children that no matter what's going on, we have to stay calm and we have to make it work. So if you're falling apart, that's okay. I don't know. I think everybody is. And after you cut yourself some slack, I think that we should just take a deep breath ask God for help, and just realize what are the priorities. The priorities are a home where everybody is healthy and everybody is functioning. And moms, you are amazing. You really, really are, because everyone has food to eat and everybody is healthy. You're doing a great job, and just focus on the good that you are doing. Try to maintain positive. It's not easy, but try to maintain a good, happy atmosphere, and our kids will pick up on that.
Right. And you know, sometimes mothers show themselves as superheroes, that we are carrying everything on our shoulders. We're like this super house powering the world.
Ladies, I'm sorry to interrupt. You have a caller?
We have a caller?
Yes.
Okay. I'll postpone that question. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you live. What's your name? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please speak.
Hello?
Yes, hello. You're on radio Positive Plus TV with Tzivia K on Miracles Go On show. You have a question for Mrs. Goodstein?
That was a mistake.
Okay. I guess that caller will call us back. Mrs. Goodstein, we were talking that sometimes mothers show themselves as superheroes. Not sometimes, but mainly a lot, right? The world rests on our shoulders, and we are afraid to show our weakness. But mothers also need to kind of be understood, because we don't want to break. How do you get these kids today to feel empathy towards parents? Where does Kivrov Ba'im come into play? Everything is about, Baruch Hashem, about the kids, and they need this, and they need a P3, and they need a cell phone, and they need sneakers, and they need everything, Baruch Hashem. But what happens, they get that I need, but what about empathy? How do we get them to have empathy towards us, older generations, you know?
So you're 100% correct. You know, one of the biggest aspects of Judaism is the fifth commandment: respect your mother and father.
Yes.
And I think that children naturally are not so good at that. You know, kids, because they're not adults and they don't understand everything, they tend to be very me oriented. And I find some children are naturally empathetic, some children are naturally more respectful, and some kids are not. And I find that with everybody, communication is what matters. To talk it out and say, you know, how do you think it feels when I'm trying so hard, and instead of saying thank you, you're criticizing me as a mother? Or how do you think it feels when you talk to me that way? You know, again, it may seem like the children are not listening, but you have more of a chance for children to do the right thing and to be respectful when you talk and you explain to them. I know that with very, very little children, let's say they hurt somebody's feelings, on their level, we'll say to them, how do you think it feels when somebody takes something away from you? Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? When somebody calls you names, does it make you feel sad? So let's not do that for anybody else. And that's how we teach little children empathy. With teenagers and older kids, it's a very, very similar thing. I think we need to talk to them, and we need to tell them, we love you, we're your moms, we have unconditional love, but we are people too, and we need your help. And it hurts when you say that to me, because I love you, you know. And I feel that with consequences, children need to have consequences, but also with communicating and talking to them and reaching their souls, reaching their hearts. It will not necessarily work. If a kid wants to tune you out, they will tune you out, but there is a much better chance. I find teenagers whose parents talk to them and teach them and work with them. I do find that those kids eventually do become empathetic, and they thank their parents. Thank you for explaining it to me. Although I may not show it, and although I may not get it, and although it looks like I don't care, I really do care. I really do care.
This is amazing, Mrs. Goodstein. I know it's almost time to go, and I know you're running late, and you have to do everything, Baruch Hashem. Everything rests on your shoulders. But we have a few questions here. First of all,
Sure.
Where do fathers come into play? We're speaking a lot about mothers, which is amazing. But we know that fathers are around, and what's their role here?
Right. So children do the best when moms and dads work together as a team. When mom and dad are not on the same page, or there's a lot of fighting in the home, it is devastating to children. I see that a lot, kids who grow up in homes where they know their moms and dads are not very nice to each other. It is so devastating. So I'm really, really begging everybody that for the sake of the children, do not argue in front of them, and please try to show shalom in front of the children. So a father should want to help his wife, and the wife should want to help the father. They are partners in raising these beautiful children, and they should talk, they should communicate. How will we handle this? Moms and dads should find time to talk and say, how will we deal with this? How will we handle this? Do we need help? Do we need to call in a professional for help? Should we reach out to the teacher? Should we reach out to the principal? But whatever it is, they should be a team. They should stick up for each other. A child shouldn't run to the dad and say, mommy said this. And we shouldn't be able to run to our mom and say, daddy said this. It's a team effort. And we should have common goals, common ways of dealing with things, and they should be a team. I want to say that again. Kids grow up happy when they see their moms and dads are a team. They may not like what their moms and dads have to say, but they're much happier when they're a team. So talk it out beforehand, how you want to deal with things. And fathers should help. Raising children is not only on the mothers. On the contrary, kids who grow up with a loving dad do very, very well. Father represents discipline, father represents respect. And when they see that their father is treating mom with respect and with love, they are role modeling for daughters what a man is. When you see a father who is involved and loving and kind and respectful, that's the type of man they want to marry. So, Tzivia, to answer your questions, dads play a very large role, and they should help. They should be there. They should see, if my wife is overwhelmed, let me be there to help.
That is amazing. Mrs. Goodstein, thank you so much for the awesome empowerment that is truly needed, especially now for all. Ladies, we have Mrs. Goodstein here, and Mrs. Goodstein, we'd like to give you the final word for the show. I know we're coming to an end now. What would you like to tell us, ladies, as a final word for this show and to the radio Positive Plus TV, please?
Right. So I just really want to thank you again so much for the opportunity to come and speak to your unbelievable viewers and listeners. And, my message to you is life is very, very precious and very, very beautiful. And, there are some difficult moments, and that is okay. But, everything is going to be okay. And just hug your children extra tight and tell the words, I love you. Call your parents, and just use your time on this world, for the good. And like I said, I didn't know that the last time that I said goodbye to the rabbi was really the last time that I was going to say goodbye. And life is beautiful and precious, and the people in your life are beautiful and precious, and God gave them to you. And appreciate them and love them, and just enjoy, be happy. Call somebody up that you love. Call up somebody that you love and just say, I'm just calling you to say that I love you and I appreciate you and thank you for being in my life.
This is amazing. Thank you so much, Mrs. Goodstein, for the awesome empowerment once again. Ladies, we're coming to an end of this show. Please download our App Store and Google Play if you do not have the Facebook Live, or watch us on YouTube. Every show will be posted a week later. So ladies, stay healthy, stay strong, positive, full of light. Keep spreading that love, but also do not forget to give yourself some self-care, because you need that self-care to continue empowering your kids and giving them that love. Okay, so blessings, love, and light to all. Miracles go on. Stay tuned. See you next Thursday.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Mrs. Goodstein. You're super awesome. We're hoping to see you on again.
My pleasure. I'm honored.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת תקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת תקבלה. מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך אפך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת תקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קורבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת תקבלה.